All right, guys. G Funk here. Going to do a off topic, something different from what you're used to seeing here on my channel. But I want to make a response video to Bruce Goes, a longtime listener and supporter of HCP. He did a video about Miles Davis, who is one of my favorite musicians of all time. I'm a big jazz fan. I love jazz. And I just want to show my jazz collection real quick. I got Miles on the turntable right now. I'm playing the Miles in the Sky album, which is right here. Let me back this up just a little bit. There we go, so you can see better. So I'm playing this right here. I've got the Bitches Brew album, which is just an amazing album. But here's one thing that happens when you collect albums. Like, I've been collecting these albums for over 20 plus years now. But this one here, when I got it, didn't have a cover. But this is In a Silent Way, Miles Davis. You mentioned that album in your live stream. Great album too. Slide this back in here, but that's how it happens sometimes when you collect albums. And you like all these albums. I haven't purchased any of these albums. I got all these albums from collecting from relatives, from some of my friends' relatives who just didn't have any use for their albums anymore. And I've always been a great jazz fan and just music fan in general. I'm a musician as well, so I'm sure most of you know that by now. Here's another one of my favorite albums from Miles Davis, the Water Babies album. Wayne Shorter plays on a lot of these tunes here. As you can see right there, he's Wayne Shorter, soprano, tenor, sax. Chick Corea, I heard you mention him. Herbie Hancock, Tony Williams on drums. All great musicians. And there's a Tony Williams album I have right here. An amazing drummer, Tony Williams. Another great album here, Les McCann and Eddie Harris live. Great stuff here, man. Great stuff. I enjoy listening to all these things when I have time. The Jazz Crusaders here. A lot of legends on these. This album right here, though. This is probably one of my favorite jazz songs of all time, Mr. Magic by Grover Washington Jr. Amazing song. You can hear a lot of funk. As some of you know, I really love funk. I love to play the funk music. If blues is like the father of rock and roll, then jazz to me is like the father of funk. Great album right here, though, from Grover Washington Jr. George Benson, another great guitarist here. This is a live album of his. Another great album here, Good King Bad. You see there's a lot of dudes that played on this with him. Steve Gadd on drums. Fred Wesley on trombone, who did a lot of work with James Brown. He's got a strong jazz background. There's Quincy Jones there, great composer, Sweetwater Jack album. John Coltrane, another person who played with Miles Davis, and obviously is one of the greatest of all time to do it in jazz music. Got a couple of live albums from him. Here's some more stuff here. Chick Corea is involved in. Chick Corea, man, he's got a lot of music, You can see, again, more Chick Corea albums I have here. Great musician, great pianist. Another one right here, Ahmad Jamal, another great pianist. Just amazing stuff, man. I love listening to jazz. Here's another guy I heard you mention, Al Di Meola. Great guitarist. And you mentioned the speed. Yes, the tremendous speed of his guitar playing. Unbelievable. Another one of my favorite sax players, or clarinet, whichever one he decides to play, Ronnie Laws. Love Ronnie Laws. This album here, Steely Dan, a lot of people know Steely Dan, the group. They're technically not jazz, but if you listen to their albums, especially this Asia album, heavy jazz influence on a lot of these songs. John McLaughlin, I heard you mention him as well, an amazing guitarist. I love listening to, like, here's a Neil Pontier, a violinist. This is all a bunch of great stuff here, man. More Chick Corea, right here. I love listening to jazz, man. It's beautiful to my ears. I know for some people it's really not. They don't really get into it, but but I love it. Charles Tolliver here, like Herbie Hancock, heard you mention him, Ron Carter, Joe Chambers, all great musicians, man. Love this shit. Love it. Stanley Turrentine right here, another great jazz musician. Also featuring, Ron Carter on bass, George Benson on guitar. All great stuff. Great musicians, great music. They influenced all of these other great musicians to come after these guys. But yeah, Miles Davis, he's one bad mother, And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, Bruce Goes. I really enjoyed your live stream. I was a little mad that I missed it when it was live, but it's all right. I caught it after, and I know you invited me to come on. And I tell you what, man, as soon as everything clears up for me and I got more time, man, I would love to come on and talk music. And again, we don't have to just talk jazz. We could talk jazz though, but this is just my jazz collection from my albums. I got a lot more albums. I got everything from jazz, I have some classical, I have R&B, funk, soul, classic rock, blues. I even have a lot of hip hop albums from the 90s and the 80s in my vinyl collection. So, I would love to do that, man. So as soon as everything, like I said, as soon as everything clears up for me, I'll go ahead and take you up on that offer, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this for now. Hopefully I don't get a copyright claim or something. I'm just playing the music. I'm not trying to make money. I'm not going to monetize this video, YouTube. So don't try to take it down, hit me with a copyright strike or anything. But that's all I really wanted to say, man. This is G-Funk, and I'm out.